A handwritten letter has just sent shockwaves through the American public, and the name behind it is none other than Gina Han, the woman many have labeled Sean Diddy Combs' ride or die. Just days before sentencing, Gina submitted a second letter to Judge Arun, pleading for leniency on Diddy's behalf and denying that she was ever a victim in the case. But instead of generating sympathy, the letter exposed a bitter paradox. Blind love and the willingness to endure abuse cannot tip the scales of justice. In her letter, Gina referred to herself as victim number 3, admitting she had previously cooperated with prosecutors by providing photos, videos, and text messages. Yet she insisted she was never trafficked, never engaged in prostitution, and claimed the prosecution had forced her to see herself as a victim. Gina wrote that she rejected being labeled a trafficking victim and begged Judge Arun to release Diddy back to his family, portraying him as a man who had always respected legal proceedings. However, the contradictions in Gina's words were immediately apparent. She had previously spoken in public interviews about being beaten and humiliated by Diddy, testimonies that were considered aggravating factors in the case file. Now her sudden reversal undermines her credibility and instead highlights the tragic irony of a woman choosing to defend a man she once admitted abused her. The question inevitably arises: if Gina truly were Diddy's saving card, why didn't his legal team call her to testify? The answer is obvious. Any statement from Gina would be torn apart on cross-examination and could do Diddy more harm than good. Legal observers stress that Judge Arun does not render decisions based on emotional letters. His focus lies on aggravating factors: violence, history of abuse, and risk of reoffending. Gina herself had already publicly acknowledged Diddy's violence, and that alone warrants serious consideration by the court. Her last-minute reversal does nothing to erase that reality. In fact, it only underscores the psychological dependency an abuser can imprint on their victims. Today, Gina Han is seen by the public as a tragic figure. She has lowered her own standards, reframing beatings and humiliation as a twisted form of love, and even attempting to use that warped narrative to exonerate the very man who harmed her. But justice cannot be redefined by one person's tolerance for abuse. Society cannot allow someone who willingly plays the role of a punching bag to rewrite the meaning of love and marriage. The implications of this story extend far beyond one letter. This is no longer just about Gina or Diddy. It is proof that the legal system must protect communities from toxic relationships, where violence is normalized under the guise of affection. Judge Arun, who has consistently demonstrated firmness throughout the proceedings, will not be swayed by emotional appeals to soften his judgment. In the end, Gina Han's letter is nothing more than a lonely cry in the face of a stern court. It does not change the facts of the case, it cannot save Diddy, and it certainly cannot rewrite the truth of what happened. Instead, it stands as a painful illustration of how love, when blinded, can turn a person into an enabler of violence. And with everything that has transpired, one outcome is almost certain. Gina's plea will be ignored, and Diddy will still face the heavy sentence that awaits him.